Hello, this is Miss Marlin. Welcome to 12.5 Day 2. We're going to work on the volume of pyramids, cones, and spheres. So the volume, yesterday we learned the volume of a prism or a cylinder was just base times height, and B, the base, is the area of the base. The same idea goes with a prism, except you can't do just base times height because the top gets smaller as you go up. So you're going to learn that the volume of a pyramid or a cone is base times height divided by 3. And we're going to do a little experiment in class tomorrow to show you why that is. Where B is still the area of the base. And H is the height of the shape. And then you have to divide by 3 because as you go up in a pyramid or a cone, it gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. Okay, so this is where you get the formula. I'll write it down one more time. Base times height, and it's divided by 3. Okay, so that's for a pyramid or cone. So it says find the volume of this rectangular pyramid. So I'm going to write the formula down. Now, if you know how to use the formula because you're like, well, we're doing the same thing but dividing by 3, go ahead and try it on your own by pausing the video. Otherwise, just watch. So to find my base, my B, I see that the shape of this base, and it even told me in the problem that it's a rectangle. So that's 8 times 5, which is, whoops, not 8 times 5, excuse me. Looking at the height, it's 8 by 6. Which gives me 48 for my base. So the base shape, that rectangle, has an area of 48. So I'm going to do 48 times my height, which in this case is 5, and divided by 3. All right, so let me grab. All right, so when I multiply that all together, I get a total of 80 centimeters cubed. All right, so next one is a cone. I want you to pause the video and see if you can use the same formula to find the volume of a cone. Don't forget, it's base times height divide 3, and B is the area of your base, so in this case we have a circle. All right, so my base here is a circle, and it's got a radius of 7, so it's going to be pi 7 squared, which is 49 pi. That's my B, my base, so it's going to be volume equals 49 pi times my height is 18 divided by 3. So I'm going to ignore the pi and I'm just going to multiply 49 times 18 and divide it by 3. And I get my volume to be 294 pi millimeters cubed. Or if I want to multiply the pi in, I get 923.62 millimeters cubed. All right, either one is acceptable. Oftentimes you're just going to leave it in terms of pi because that's the exact answer. All right, and now we have this shape. I first want you to pause the video and identify this shape, and then I want you to find the volume. All right, so this is a triangular pyramid, which means the volume is going to be base times height divided 3. My base is a triangle, okay, so the triangle looks like this. It's 10 and a height of 2. So the area of that triangle is going to be 10 times 2 divided 2, which is 10. So when I use my volume formula, it's going to be 10 times. The whole height of the pyramid itself is 12. And again, you have to divide by 3 because it gets skinnier as you go up. So it's 10 times 12 divide 3 for a total of volume of 40 meters. And again, volume is in cubic measurements or cubic units. All right, we have a few more to go. Again, pause the video, identify the shape, find the area of the base, and then use the volume formula. So pause the video. So this is a trapezoidal pyramid, which means when I use the formula base times height divide 3, my base is going to be a trapezoid. And remember, the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 B1 plus B2 times height. So it's 1/2 18 plus 12. And the height of that trapezoid right here is 2. So 18 plus 12 times 0.5 times 2 gives me a total base area of 30. So when I use the formula, my B is 30. That's my area of my base. The height of the whole pyramid is 15, and I need to divide that by 3. So it's 30 times 15 divide 3 for a total volume of 150 feet cubed. All right, 2 more to go here. And then we're going to move on to the sphere. I think I'm going to save this one as an OYO tomorrow, so if you want to pull that out later, you can. We're going to move on to the next one, which is a little bit harder. It says find the volume of a cylinder with a cone removed. So this one, I want you to first find the volume of the cylinder. Oops. And then we need to find the volume of the cone. And then we need to take the volume of the cylinder minus the volume of the cone because we want to take out the cone. So the volume of a cylinder is just base times height. My base is a circle. It looks like the diameter is 12, so the radius is 6. So that's going to be 36 pi. The area of this circle here is 36 pi. The height of both the cylinder and the cone is 16. So 36 times 16. The whole cylinder is 50, whoopsie, I can't write. It's 500 and I forgot my 6. 576 pi. The volume of a cone is going to be the same formula but divided by 3. So my base again is still 36 pi. My height is still 16, but I'm going to have to divide it by 3. So I get 192 pi. So then my final answer is going to be to take that cylinder of 576 pi and subtract off the cone of 192 pi. So it's 576 minus 192. If they both have a pi, you can subtract them without multiplying the pi. If they don't, you have to multiply the pi through. So this one, they both have a pi, so the pi can stay all the way until the end. So that means this area of, or the volume of this stuff right here in that whole three-dimensional shape is going to be 384 centimeters cubed. All right, we're going to skip the next one too, so if you see this in your book, just move on. We're going to move on to the volume of a sphere. And this one is straight formula. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. And again, notice that it's different than the surface area. It's r cubed rather than r squared, and it's divided by 3. So we're just going to practice using the formula to start. The sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided 3 again. And this is, you're always going to be given this formula. So it's 4 pi, the radius is 5. So it's 4 pi times 5 cubed is 125. And I'm just going to multiply now. 4 times 125 divide 3 gives me 166.6 repeating pi. Or if you want to multiply the pi in, we get 523.6. And that's in centimeters cubed. So either answer is acceptable. If you get a decimal especially, I often multiply the pi in because it's not going to affect your answer. All right, so I should have paused the video and practiced using that formula. It's volume equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. All right, so it's 4 pi 8 cubed over 3. So 8 to the third is 512 times 4 is 2048. Divide 3 gives me 682.6 repeating pi. Or if I multiply the pi in, I get 2,144.66. And we are in centimeters cubed again. All right, so that wraps up a sphere. I think later we're going to talk about a hemisphere because those are actually much harder. Not for volume, but for surface area in particular, because you have to remember you have this circle on the bottom. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day.